made a big difference. Or actually, because it was one of my first months, it was actually like $600, or no, like more, because it was like counted as double.
That's right.
Are we live right now?
We're live, dude.
Thanks. So it's crazy going down memory lane. Back 2 years ago, Brett was my manager. I had just started, first month, new to the industry, the Amazon industry specifically. I had prior e-commerce experience, and Brett gifted me a little account, which, because it was my first month, was worth like double commission, and it just says a lot about the type of person he is. He cares about everyone. It was Christmas.
I remember I was sitting in my my room in Arizona, and I was like, whatever. Gotta make everyone happy. No one wants to be sad on Christmas.
He's the man. And he's humble as always, but he was probably already at like 300% of his quota.
Well, so. I don't know about that, but I try.
And $100 million in revenue.
$100 million. All right.
Who knows if this will be cut, but it's good stuff either way.
Dude, best part about this podcast is we don't cut unless we say something we don't want to say. Then I'll cut it.
I gotcha.
It's raw.
What happens if like a fact checker is like, "Hey, Brett, could you change this?" I don't know. Ooh. What's the integrity like on this pod? I know Rogan wouldn't.
I'd probably say integrity's pretty good. You mean like if you were like, "Hey, I don't know, I don't want you to have this."
If like the government came to you and they're like, "Hey, Brett, like take this out."
Like some Facebook stuff.
We don't like some Facebook stuff. Like maybe Zuck sends you a message and he's like, "Hey, I know I've been going back and forth on my stance, but like now I'm pro censorship again."
Dude, I'd probably post it. I'd probably be like, "You know what? There must be a reason why you don't want me to post it. I'm doing it."
And that's why I'm back on the pod again.
Dude, I'd post it on X, actually, because they wouldn't turn me down.
For the people.
For the people, that's right. Yeah, you're back on, dude.
I know, after, like a year and a half, 2 years? Like, it was when we first met, pretty much, that I got on the pod.
And we didn't do it justice. Last time we got up, we ran. We worked out together, and then we recorded. And it was like 6 a.m. when we recorded, I felt like.
Yeah, it was early.
It was so early.
We did not... I mean, I'm sure you got after it this morning. I am going to get after it tonight.
That's what I'm talking about, dude. Yeah. You're building a sauna.
Yes. I'm in the process.
I'm very jealous.
It looks like they may start framing it this Saturday.
There we go.
Just waiting to hear back. But the lumber is for sure getting delivered tomorrow.
Yeah.
At least for framing. I'll still need the actual sauna quality cedar or whatever we decide to do. That'll come a little bit later. But yeah, starting the framing.
Boom.
In our first conversation back in the day, we talked a little bit about real estate. And now it's super exciting because, I built a semi-custom home, and you're in the process of building a full custom home. And it's just been so fun to talk about.
I know. And I know nothing. So you've been very helpful with that. So I much appreciate it. But yeah, it's exciting. Like, I think one of my favorite, like, having guests on multiple times is you get to hear where they were at, and then you get to hear like where they're at now. And it's kind of cool just seeing, like, I always talk about progress, no matter how small, like, is still progress. And we've both done some pretty big things over the past year and a half. Like
a ton. Dude, you got married. That's crazy.
You have 2 kids now.
Yeah, I did have another kid after that. And
it's wild.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, like, let's get an update on you. How are you doing? What's piqued your interest nowadays? Like, let's hear it.
Yeah, I have been fantastic. Life is good. It's moving 1 million miles per hour.
It's true.
I've had the opportunity to travel a fair amount last little bit, which has been...
Just got back from Florida pretty recently.
Yeah, right? We did Florida, and right before that we did Hawaii, and that was just my wife and I and the kids, and literally my favorite vacation of all time. I know you've got it
this year, yeah.
Yeah. You've got a trip coming up to Hawaii. I guess we both do, like, same month.
I know. I got to tell Allie.
Here in a few weeks.
You said March, right?
I think so, yeah. Like, definitely springtime.
Allie, if you're listening to this, March. Mark the calendars.
But yeah. Also, I need the time off from work. Just kidding.
Yeah, pattern, make it happen. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, it's exciting. And, like, I think, one of the reasons I love seeing that progress and seeing, like, people develop and get better in whatever they're interested in is, like, that's the whole point of getting after it. And I think it takes a person who's always focused on what's the next step, like trying to find, how they can improve on themselves kind of thing. But I feel like you do that normally. Like you're always trying to refine your processes for at least like prospecting and sales in general. And then with like building a home, like you're getting further along in real estate. You could also toss the family in there and be like, you're progressing in your family. Where's that come from? Like that desire to always move forward and like keep finding something new that's going to keep you interested. And like, what's that look like? Do you have a process for that? Or
Yeah, I'd say it's kind of always how I've been.
Yeah.
I've always, wanted to become more, become better. Like when I first started lifting weights, let's see.
Dude, you put me to shame.
Oh, not even.
Karsten texted me the other day and he's like, bench 315 this morning. It's like, gosh damn.
Oh, that was actually crazy because like 2 years ago I could rep 315, 3-4 reps, pretty easily. And I didn't bench much for like 4 or 5 months. I did gain some weight, which helps. And then boom, like literally after a month of like benching once a week, I got back up to 315, which is like crazy because the first time I got to 315, like it was no easy feat. It was like crazy. But yeah, I was just going to say like I've been in the gym well over 10 years now. And like initially when I first started, I always think back of my first training program, and it was very similar to German volume training, if you're familiar with that, which is like 10 sets of 10.
Yeah. I think our friend Stan taught me about that actually.
Yeah. Stan totally was into that sort of thing. Yeah. And the way this program worked was I would do close grip bench press, and it was 3 sets of 8. And I'd do it every morning and get to the school at 6 a.m. I'd do 3 sets of 8, next day 4 sets of 8, and I'd work up to 8 sets of 8 on the same weight.
Yeah.
And then I'd go up by like 5 pounds. And
that
literally,
worked pretty well.
I went, when I started, my first weight was like I don't even know if it was a 25 on each side. Like it was like barely more than the bar, less than 100 pounds. And within a year, I was doing that with 225.
That's insane, dude.
Like,
that's my goal for the year, so maybe I'll try it out.
Yeah,
225.
No, I loved that. It helped a lot, especially like doing the close grip. I felt like built my tricep so much, which is what, like 2/3 of your arm, right? So
it's insane.
It really just made a big difference. But yeah, I mean, so there's definitely that aspect. But then aside from that, I've always been driven like with kind of this mindset that I wanted to be successful and like have a good career and own businesses and seek financial freedom and various incomes, various forms of cash flow. It's like something I'm still not even near where I'd like to be, but like flexibility and freedom and time management is like really what I seek. And I want to just, it sucks when I'm putting my son to bed and he's like, "Hey, are you commuting tomorrow to Lehigh? I'm not going to see you all day." And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I'm sorry." that part sucks. So, I drive an hour both ways. So that's 2 hours where I'm, not doing anything but listening to podcasts, which I do enjoy. But if I didn't have that commute, I would listen to podcasts in the sauna or at the gym instead. It'd be a little better.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, like I've actually talked to my brother about that. He has 3 kids now, and like I don't have any kids. Allie and I, we, like you said, got married last year, so we're not rushing that. But like he has kind of a similar commute where he's like 40 minutes there, 40 minutes back, and he's like it's painful sometimes. And someone who's not a dad, like I don't really understand. I kind of get an idea of like when Allie leaves to go fly in Arizona for the weekend.
Oh yeah,
it's like, oh man, that sucks.
I've seen the look on your face when she's
depression,
leaving.
Yeah, it's pure sadness. But yeah, I mean it's tough, and it's like
you're like, I'm gonna run instead of 50 miles this weekend. I'm gonna run 150.
Yeah, that's it. We're tripling the number. We're going. But no, it's like I don't know. I mean, like life is obviously. Like you got to show up, you got to do the work, and all that thing. But I think it's those moments when like you are with your family or you're doing the thing that you love. It's like, man, it's better than I thought it was. Like, I don't know. It's a sense of gratitude, I guess, for me. Because when she leaves, like my example with Allie, when she goes and then comes back, it's always like 10 times sweeter. It's like, oh, dang, I missed you a lot. Didn't realize how much.
Oh, I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah.
When Maddie and I were dating, we did long distance.
How long?
Nice thing was only
distance-wise and length.
So she was in St. George, so,
Okay.
Like 4.5 hour car drive or whatever. And like this was literally the only benefit of COVID is her school went to being remote.
Oh, nice.
Remote nursing school.
Yeah, there you go.
Luckily went back to in-person before she finished.
Maddie's a great nurse. I've heard stories. She's great.
Yeah, no, she's a good nurse. She got taken care of in person. But yeah, like it was her first few semesters of the nursing program. It was actually literally her first semester of the nursing program. And so it was all bookwork, which was fine. And she only had to be down in St. George for her job at the hospital.
Yeah.
So, she would go down, work like 4 days in a row that would account for 2 weeks of work. And then she would come up and stuff. So, kind of similar to the situation you're in to where it's like 3-4 days, without you seeing Allie.
Yeah, man.
Was kind of similar for us, maybe like max like 2 weeks where, but we were first dating, but still
happens.
little different when you're married. Like we both see that with trade shows. It sucks when we go.
It's brutal.
I try and bring Maddie on trade shows as often as I can.
Yeah, there you go. It's probably our 2 kids now though.
Yeah, it's probably not happening again.
Yeah. You never know though. But I don't know. I mean, like it's interesting. Those things, those kind of experiences just give you perspective. Like I was, my story where I was 135 pounds. I was super weak. Mm-hmm. And like I couldn't run at the time. And now like I'm running 50 plus mile weeks on the regular. And like, it's just different because like I knew the Brett that was like stuck in bed and like couldn't get out would jump to that. Like would be so thrilled if like I'd go and actually go do something. And I'd like push my body as hard as I can.
I remember when you did your first sub-3 marathon. And like what felt like weeks before that, your doctor was like, "You shouldn't be running." Like crazy.
Oh no, that was the first half marathon.
Was that the half?
Yeah. Sub-3, I was getting a little bit better, but yeah, that was brutal, man. That was sad.
But did we know each other when you did your first half?
I think my first
has it been over
half,
2 years?
Yeah, it was my first official half was Team Tim 2023.
2023.
So.
I think I started. Did I start at Pattern in 2022?
I think you did because
I started in October.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, we knew each other.
That's crazy.
So you've seen me run my first half, and I saw you run your first half.
Walk my first
No,
half.
dude, you were killing it. You were cruising.
I killed the first 8 miles.
What was that like though, dude? Because you trained. How long was your training? 3 months.
Yeah. I think it was.
Got it done.
And I loved it. I think I did like 4 10-milers before, and like everyone always talks about like the runner's high and this and that. I felt like any run over an hour, like about an hour, and I really, really felt that and really enjoyed it. I definitely want to do some sort of race this year.
I mean, you got it in you, man.
Yeah. Oh, well, we'll see. But I want.
Where were we? It was like. It wasn't Supply Side West, but it was somewhere.
It was Newtopia, and we were in Denver.
That's right.
I don't remember the time of the year, but we were at the hotel.
Yeah. And I go down to the gym, and I had to run 10 miles, and Karsten was right next to me, and he's like, "I'm going to do 10 miles too." And right next to me, and like, I don't know, Denver is high altitude, man. So there you go. You got it in you.
I hadn't ran in over a month before that too.
I know. It's like it's a beast. Like
slow and steady. But
yeah, I mean, like. Is there a race you've thought about for this year?
I don't know. So Maddie's doing a trail run in September, and so I'm kind of tempted to do a trail run I think there's one in August that
nice.
I'd be interested in. So I've thought about that, but I've really enjoyed riding my bike, so cycling. And So I could definitely see myself doing at least a century this year. But I don't even know if I'll do like a sanctioned one. I might just go out and
Just
do
do
it like with my dad or a friend or something. So,
I mean, that's what I did with Team Tim 2023 was my first official half marathon, like a race put on. But I think I did my first half marathon in like August, just on the trail back there.
Oh,
right
really?
down the road, yeah.
Yeah, no way.
So I don't know. I mean, I'd say why not? That's sick.
Yeah.
What's a century race? What is that?
100-mile bike ride.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. So the most I've done, I think, was just over 40.
Yeah.
It was actually one day just right before work.
That's insane.
I woke up like a little early and I was like, I got like 3 hours.
Yeah.
So I just went for it.
Is that like comparable to a marathon? Like
no.
100 miles?
No, like I would compare. 100 miles.
Like that's a long distance.
I don't know. I wouldn't know since I haven't done either. So,
there you go.
But I could say like the 40-mile bike, and I was pushing myself pretty hard. Like I PR'd in various stages of the bike. I would maybe compare that, and it took me. I would have to look at Strava. It's not sponsored, but
it will be. Follow us on Strava.
It might be sponsored by Strava
soon enough.
When they hear the shout outs, I'm sure they'll run some ads.
Yeah, they got AI picking up their name.
But yeah, like I think it was probably like a little over 2 hours, and so like I would maybe compare that to like a 6-mile run.
Okay.
Honestly,
yeah.
Like it's just because, but what I really enjoyed about it is it's a lot easier to stay like in a lower heart rate,
like zone 2.
Zone 2, etc. So like for me when I run, especially being a big dude, like it's hard to stay in zone 2, even if I'm going slow. So it's like, what am I supposed to do? Walk?
Yeah, I mean it's tough.
But by riding, that's when I showed up in Denver after not having run.
Yeah,
and like stayed on the treadmill just fine, and I would attribute that to be, kind of the cycling.
Building up the zone 2. I mean, that's huge. Like, I have a run coming up on Saturday, doing 13 to 15 miles, just depending on how I feel. And the goal is zone 2. And like, if I'm outside, I always push myself into like, I'll be in 3 to 4 for the most of it. But my hack is EOS. You go there.
Yeah.
EOS is the best.
Like the movie room?
I literally go to the movie room, dude. And I put on my headphones. I'll listen to a book or a podcast or something, and then just try and zone out. And it's like the biggest hack because, like, if I'm tired of listening to something, I'll just like look. But it is very boring, I will say. Like, spending 2 hours on a treadmill is rough because, like, you have to keep your heart rate down. Like you said, if you're training for zone 2, it's like you have to do that.
Do you think it's easier on the treadmill? Because I've been thinking about this. I'm like, I want to do some zone 2 training, like, daily, if not a few times a week. It would be a lot easier because I have a treadmill in my garage. Just go out there and be like, I'm going to do 4 miles every day. Yeah. Would you recommend that?
I mean, I would. I hear people all the time talk about like how treadmill training isn't real training, but I trained for my sub 3 mainly on a treadmill because it was winter time up in Utah, and I was like, I don't have like shoes to go out there and all this stuff.
And you're risking injury.
Yeah. I mean, I probably could have and been fine, but
until you slip.
Until I slip and die. But like, yeah, so I trained entirely for that race pretty much on a treadmill. I'd go to a track a couple times.
That track sounds terrible.
Well, like it was an indoor track, but yeah, it was boring, dude.
I'm going to do 400 laps today.
Yeah. Oh man, it's brutal. You had to have a good book or something to keep you focused. But I don't know. I mean, like, I was talking to my brother about this the other day about treadmill training. And I think there comes a point to where your body gets used to certain speeds. Like, I run very comfortably at like an 8-mile pace on a treadmill. So that's like my zone 2. And usually like I can run forever at that pace. And the treadmill's nice because like you can just keep it there. But I think often like you get comfortable on a treadmill that you don't push yourself. And you're like, hey, you know what? I'm going to do half a mile faster. Or half a mile per hour faster and see how long I can hold it. Yeah. But I think it's a good place to start. Like,
I
for
like
sure.
That.
It's
so when you say 8-mile pace, does this vary per treadmill, or like if you press the 8 button, is that 8-mile pace?
Well, that's so 7.5. I meant like 8 miles per hour, or 8 minutes per mile pace is what that is.
Yeah. And is it the 8 button?
So it's 7.5.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
7.5 miles an hour is 8.
And it probably
like an 8 minute
varies
mile.
per treadmill, right?
I think it's done by miles per hour, unless you're like doing kilometers an hour.
Gotcha,
Which when I went
gotcha.
I went to Cancun, they had a kilometers treadmill. That was weird.
We got to fix that in treadmills because it's like when I, like when I did the 10 miles in Denver with you, I don't know what I pressed, but I was like, I usually run about a 10-minute pace.
Yeah.
And then I had my watch on and I kind of was like, okay, like 10 minutes, whatever. But would it be convenient if it was like, and I know there's some new treadmills. I just saw one similar to like those curved treadmills where it lets you keep your own pace on like
but
it wasn't a curved one. It was super nice. But part of the reason I'm attracted to starting to run on a treadmill more is my wife always gave me a hard time when we would run together for not maintaining a steady pace. Yeah. She's like, it's terrible to run next to you because you're going like super fast and then super slow when you're gas and then super fast and super slow, I
mean, I think it's good for that for sure. Like it gives you a guideline and it's like, okay, it's going to keep going.
Figure out my stride.
Yeah. Like that's, I would say, a good use of training for a treadmill. Like you'll be good. But
it's time to lock in.
It's time to lock in, man.
I just put on did you see my Instagram story? It was just like 30 minutes ago.
Probably not.
So it's a picture of this cute grandma and she's holding this sign.
The cost of not locking in is spending the rest of your life clocking in. Let's go, grandma.
Yeah, she's cutie.
That's true, though.
It's true.
Yeah, it's a good point. True.
Oh, I didn't realize there was music on that. Hopefully it's like...
Is that Kanye? No, that's not Kanye.
Yeah, I did not realize I put music on there.
Hey, that's okay.
I don't usually do that.
Karsten's all about the production. So... No, I think that's good. Like, my biggest advice to anyone who's like trying to start running or like wants to exercise more or whatever it is, like, is just, do what you have available to you. And I don't know. I know you like running outside, but I'd say try the treadmill, dude.
Yeah, I need to do it. More frequently. But what were you going to say?
I was going to say, it's been a huge hack for me.
Yeah, let's hear it.
On long distance runs, I do the nose strips.
Oh, I love the nose strips. Yeah.
For anyone who hasn't tried them, it literally, like, you put a sticker pretty much on your nose and it opens it up and you breathe through your nose. And like, that's a good training on its own because a lot of people who run or ride bikes or do anything, they breathe through their mouths. It's not good.
Oh yeah. I slept with a nose strip every day for probably 2 or 3 months last year. Till I ran out.
And I just didn't refill.
Or actually, probably longer because I've had a few different brands.
Yeah.
But the hostage tape nose strips, I got them at a conference I went to. I got a bunch of free samples.
Oh, nice.
And they're really good.
Really?
They're super high quality.
You got to try Blaze.
Blaze, okay.
I think it's like a hostage tape competitor, but they come in 60. And
Ooh, are they on Amazon?
$20, yeah.
Ooh, $20 is pretty fair for 60 compared to the hostage tape was pretty pricey.
It's like 30 for $20.
Is that what it was? Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
But you can sponsor us, though.
Nice when they're free.
Yeah, hostage tape. You can sponsor. It's fine. But I mean, like what else is going on in your world? You got any goals that you're working towards this year?
Yeah, so my wife and I are on a fitness kick right now.
Oh, nice.
Especially her. She's setting the example right now. She'll literally be in our garage, which luckily is insulated, but she'll be in the garage. It's still pretty cold on the treadmill with our toddler we around. We have a net up. So sometimes he's golfing. Sometimes he's hitting a plastic baseball bat.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have a TV out there just watching TV. But he's all over the place, bouncing around the walls. And she's on the treadmill with baby holder, holding our baby.
No way.
Walking, and she'll be out there. She gets 10,000 steps every day, so she hasn't missed it.
What a beast!
And yeah, she's out there, and then she'll get a workout in out there and stuff. And yesterday was one of the first days I really locked in.
Yeah,
I left my house at I think 5:15. Came here to the office, and I did a little bench work, a little bit very quick triceps. And then I did a lap of lunges around the building.
That's insane.
I love it.
The building's big. It's like, I don't know, 300 feet each side, each long way. And then the width of the building is like, what, 50 feet?
Yeah, I could see that for sure. It took
insane.
me 11 minutes and 30 seconds. I think if I was really, really...
To get horse legs.
Like, yeah.
That's how you do it.
My legs hurt so bad right now.
Oh, I believe it, man.
But I was actually thinking like that, because I actually liked it. When I was thinking about it, I was like, oh, this is clutch. Because normally I just go to the gym and there's like the little grass patch or turf. I get artificial turf and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do 10 minutes or 20 minutes or whatever it is. And I just do it. But I have no like concept of whether or not I actually push myself.
Yeah.
You know? And so with this, I'm like, you know, this is similar to running. It's like, okay, this was my time for this lap. Dude. Now for the second lap, let's see if I can beat it. Or, you know, I mean, even doing 2 laps would be its own feat. But
I mean, that alone, that 11 minutes, I like for sure is probably mostly mental. Like, yeah, it's gonna hurt like your legs and stuff, but like doing that for that long is hard.
Oh yeah, yeah. It would actually be interesting to see like what's the longest
that we could do it.
Yeah, like the longest I've ever done it was 30 minutes.
Okay.
And I was at a point where I was doing like 20 to 30 minutes pretty frequently.
That's insane.
And like
30 minutes of lunges, dude.
Yeah, no steps in between, just right into it.
Oh my gosh.
It's funny because it's Corey Gregory, Corey G Fitness, founder of Muscle Farm, absolute G. Like he just started Muscle Island where he built this container.
What?
Like this container home on an island, and he's got like a sweet gym there and
Muscle
whatnot.
Island?
He's actually a huge Ohio State fan. So like,
hey, let's go.
Yeah, you and Allie would hit it off with him. You'll have to shoot him a message after this. Let him know we shout him out. We love Corey. But yeah, you know Pat McAfee, right?
Yeah.
So he on one of his shows, he's shouted out Corey countless times.
Really?
Pat's done the lunges. So,
dude.
And I swear by him. Like, so when I was playing, I was going to say college football, high school football.
You could play college.
I was weighing 220 and then it was done. And, you know, I was playing D-line. And so I was like, okay, I guess I don't need to have this weight anymore. Yeah. Like I was already too light to be playing D-line. So I definitely couldn't have lost it during the season. And so I started lunging every day and eating healthy and taking proper supplements and sleeping, and I dropped like 60 pounds in like 4 months. Jeez, and dude. Got like super cut and stuff. And then when I went on my mission, it was super hard because like in the winter we would just get like unlimited tamales and like other stuff, and it was like
you were in Mexico. Right?
I was in Mexico. And it was an insult, like, if you didn't eat 20 tamales. And, you know, so I would just, like, felt like sometimes I needed to. I would literally say no, and then I would get a full plate, and I just felt bad, especially when someone's giving you, like, all they have, right?
Right.
And so there would be phases in that time where I would, you know, gain a little bit of weight, but literally just with, like, a few weeks of 15 minutes of lunges every day, I would burn it down like super quick.
That's insane.
So getting in the process now, it's, you know, when you're already doing so much cardio like you do with like running and stuff, it'd probably be hard to do it daily, but you know, 2-3 times a week would be pretty cool. I wonder how that would impact what you
interested.
do.
Yeah, I'll talk to my brother about that because we like work on each other's workout program. So he does the lifting part and then I do the running and stuff. So we like train each other. It's kind of fun. But I'll tell him because I'm like, we got to do lunges.
Yeah.
And it's funny because you mentioned like all that stuff, and I think people who like either want to get fit or like lose weight or whatever the story is, they think they need like, you know, a world-class gym and like you said, like all the top line supplements. But really, it's like you just go outside and do lunges and eat a little healthier, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean,
it doesn't have to be crazy.
Yeah, as long as you're at a caloric deficit and you're not eating just junk, like
that's slamming back.
And
the
then.
Cheetos.
Like, obviously, I think everyone knows, like, the stair stepper is great. Or, like, if you go to the highest incline on a treadmill and you walk at, like, a speed of 3 for 30 minutes to an hour every day, like similar thing. I've also seen a lot of people just walking on like on trails outside or on the sidewalk wearing weighted vest.
Yeah.
And like, if you didn't want to draw attention to yourself, throw the weighted vest on, put a hoodie on over that. No one's ever going to know.
It's true.
Go out early or late. Yeah. No one will ever see you, and just get out there and do it. But, you know, you're just getting in that metabolic zone to burn fat, just shed that off. So
I love what you were saying about like a little bit earlier. Like you tried running, you know, you ran your half marathon, and now like you're you didn't say this, but falling in love with biking. Like you like biking a lot.
Yeah.
And I think it's like, it doesn't have to be running. It doesn't have to be biking. It doesn't have to be lunges. It's just like find something that works for you, something that you can enjoy and learn how to enjoy, and then just try and do it every day. Like, yeah.
It's also just like that challenge. We've both worked for Bryce in various roles. Bryce Warning's actually a CRO now.
Ex-Amazon.
So, ex-Amazon CRO. Previously, we could only say VP. So very proud of him.
Shout out to Bryce.
It's actually his birthday today. So
it is
happy
his birthday,
Bryce. We love you.
We do love you.
Super proud of you, as I stated previously. Yeah. So he finds something all the time where he's like, I'm going to summit this mountain, and then I'm going to like do this marathon or this triathlon, or I'm going to go to the gym and see like how I can push myself there. But over the last, I don't know, let's just say 10 years, it's probably been longer, he's found something every year or so that he's done. I thought that was pretty cool. I think
it's like Jesse Itzler does the same thing, I think.
Oh, I believe it. His stuff's so cool. I would love to do the rim to rim or whatever.
Yeah, that would be sick.
And the Grand Canyon. Dude, do you want to do that this year?
I would do it.
Jake said he would like take us.
Really?
And he's done it like many times.
Let's get a group text with that guy. I'm down.
I know. I would probably want to drop 50 pounds before I did it, but I would do it.
We could do it. We could do it together.
I mean, you did help your brother drop 50 pounds. So.
Yeah, he lost 50 pounds. And how many months was that? I think 7 months, 8 months.
Yeah, that's good. So that's solid.
But yeah, we could do it. That'd be sweet.
Yeah, it would be way fun. I would enjoy that a lot.
Oh, I like that principle though. That Bryce does, and then the Jesse guy talks about, but like trying to find one new challenge every year. It doesn't have to be like, I don't know, it should be something that's really hard for you, but like try and switch it up a little bit. Like rim to rim is way different than biking a century race or like whatever it is. Like just try and push yourself and see what your limit is.
I love that.
That's why I run. Like Allie was asking me the other day, she's like, when are you going to stop? Like when are you going to hang up the shoes, you know?
When he beats Nick Bear in Grandma's marathon.
Oh, man. Called it out. Yeah, I'm aiming for that. But no, I mean, like...
How many weeks out are we?
Ooh, I think we're weeks out. I don't know, but we're 158 days.
158 days, Nick. Better be ready.
Get ready, Nick. I'm coming. I'm going to look like a clown.
Respond to our emails.
Respond to our emails. Come on, we've been hitting you up for a while.
2 years.
2 years now.
With really, really good like data and insights and like all valuable stuff. When you hear this podcast, you know, think back on our emails.
Check it out. Check out the emails. But no, I think like for me, I just want to see how far I can go. Like it could be a Goggins 240-mile Moab race.
Oh, wow.
That one is insane. But if I could run that and like say I did it, I think, you know, I'd be pretty pumped.
Yeah.
It'd be hard.
I think it'd be fun, like, because you did your trail run.
Yeah.
You've done various marathons and this and that. I think that would be good just to kind of mix it up. And obviously, you're so, like, young and you're, like, running.
Yeah, which is weird.
You know what I mean?
Like, prime time's 40s.
Yeah. Well, and not only that, but it's just, like, think about, like, a lot of people that truly get passionate about this. Like, they try to knock off all the bucket list races. You know, the Boston Marathon, the London Marathon, the New York Marathon.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not at a level to where I'm even thinking about a marathon in general, but if I ever got to where I was running a sub-3 like you, I'd have my sights on some of those like really, really like nostalgic ones. But
well, hopefully, Nick Bear, again, if you're listening to this, will you please draw me for the ultra? I want to do that one.
Yeah,
Last man standing.
That'd be sweet. When is that?
May 23rd. 5th or something.
That's actually soon.
Yeah, it's pretty soon, which it works great because like I've been doing a lot of distance, so I hope, fingers crossed. I don't know when they're announcing it, but
Yeah, and what were the rules on that one? Was it like
it's a 4.2 mile loop every hour on the hour until one person remains.
4.2 mile loop? How long would that take you for one lap?
I mean, if I'm doing that 8-minute per mile pace, that's like 32 minutes.
Gotcha.
And then I could have like that pretty.
But then there's the strategy. It's like, do I want 30 minutes or do I want 10 minutes or,
I'd probably, I mean, that's a good point because like when we ran Ragnar, you would have hours where you'd be sitting and it was so hard to keep going afterwards. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like I could.
I feel like the optimal rest time is going to vary per person, and it's probably like would make sense to adjust that throughout the race. It'd be, if you do like get drawn, it'd be interesting to do some research there and then also just test yourself.
Yeah.
Like go out to a track and be like, okay, how is it like if I have a 15-minute gap? What's it like with a 30-minute gap?
It's not a bad call, honestly.
Because you're going to win. So
there's some tough players going, man. Cam Haynes' son signed up. Cam Haynes is like...
Did he automatically get in?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Maybe if you run it in jeans, then you'll get in.
Maybe I'll get in, yeah. But that dude, he's going.
Yeah, he's a beast. He's going for the pull-up record again. So
I think he's going to do it easy. That dude is insane.
I mean, he did it. He did it once, right? And
yeah, he did it one time. I don't know if Goggins is going to be there. I think Sally McRae is going to be there. She's like one of the best female ultra runners.
Dang.
Should be some.
Is she sponsored by BPN?
Yeah.
So she's automatically in.
Sponsored by BPN and Nike, dude.
Oh, wow.
Wow. But if I could throw my hat in the ring with like people like that, like I would be stoked just for that opportunity too. So,
dude, have you seen the minted like Saucony collabs? Did I say that right? Yeah, they're pretty cool. They have a blue. Mean? It's a brand, Minted New York. You should look at some of their merch and the different shoes they've done. I'm in, but I'm kind of tempted. They're pretty cool.
I need to get a new pair of shoes.
I think you should get the Fire Nikes.
The Guy Fieri looking Nikes, dude.
Yeah, those are
cool. Sweet. Coming straight out of like 2008.
Yeah, they're legit. If you had like, maybe if you bought the Oakleys that are like all one frame that go like kind of weirdly over your nose, and you had those. That
and maybe some like 3-inch shorts.
Yeah, some 3-inch like kind of bright shorts. Or
just play the role, man.
Yeah, just go into it.
But yeah,
welcome to the past. That'd be good for the Vegas one.
That's true.
Like that.
Yeah.
I know you got the Team Tim shirts, but we could dress it up like that.
Yeah.
Around.
Team Tim is almost a month out.
That's coming up. Yeah.
It's coming up. And then I run the race on the 23rd.
And it's the evening one, right?
Yeah, it's at nighttime. So it's gonna be fun. But shout out to Team Tim. We'll get you there one of these years.
No, yeah, I would love that.
I think the goal for the next one is that it's just Team Tim's race. So because typically we go like to a half marathon that's already happening, and then we'll run that. But we want to do it where it's like specific for families who are going through, one of their loved ones has cancer. But then just to honor him, like I think it'd be cool to just to have everyone come out and be like, hey, because registration is the biggest issue.
Yeah, and then especially if you could make it like to where it's like, hey, donate.
Yeah.
Up to what you feel inclined, or anyone, if you want to get any sponsorships or this or that, like it's appreciated and we're going to help families in need, not expected, but appreciated. Whatever you guys end up doing, I think you could get a lot of people, open to it, especially if you found, like somewhere beautiful to do it. Like
probably not Arizona.
You know what I mean? Or I don't know where it is, but there's just so many, like the half marathon I did was in St. George, overlooking Snow Canyon.
Yeah.
And it was just beautiful. The whole, you guys you ran that race, you and Allie. So
gorgeous.
Maddie and I ran it and she beat me. But it was just beautiful the whole time, which
it's crazy.
I think. And, like the one you're doing next month, it's an experience too. It's nighttime Vegas Strip. Like
Allie tells me that like Elvis is on the strip, like marrying people on the race.
That's crazy.
And so there's like ladies who run with a veil in their hair because they just got married by Elvis. Like there's guys rapping on the side.
Yeah.
So that's going to be an experience.
I think that's what makes it fun. Like people I would like to do a haunted half one day. I think that'd be
I've
kind of
heard
cool.
about those. I want to do one.
Like you wear a fun costume, and I just think it'd be
Maybe that's the race
memories.
that you do this year with me. We'll go and do the haunted house or the haunted half.
That could work out nice because if I did a trail run with Maddie,
You'd be ready, dude. That'd be easy for you at that point.
That would be because I'd probably do a little less, like maybe a 10-mile trail run or something. I don't know, but
I love it, man. Anything else? Anything else top of mind? Any advice you want to give?
Might as well wrap up. And kind of with that in mind, I'd like to just plan on being back on the pod.
Yeah, you're coming on.
I think we should get on. Let's talk about it and just find like 2 or 3 things that we're like, look, let's cover this discipline or this, like, I love storytelling. So maybe we can get deep into a story of,
dude, I'd love that.
Something that happened to either of us or whatever. I think that would be fun. But yeah, this time I would just say like, life is hard. Like it's super hard. And honestly, like I haven't gone through too many like crazy things.
Yeah.
But as I look at like things you've gone through, things that I've had family members go through the last few years, like it helps put it in perspective a little bit where it's like, okay, I need to stop moping around sometimes and feeling sorry for myself. And I just need to be positive and be like, I'm so blessed, like with, my education and where my wife and I live and our kids and my career, like so blessed in so many ways, so there's like that reminder. And then also with that in mind, there's always opportunities to help people, like help someone get a job. Like I've helped many people interview for jobs and land jobs recently over the last few years. And that's something that's fulfilling. And I would always, even if you feel like things are going terribly and you're just like want everyone to feel sorry for you, like take a second and go do something for someone else. Like if you hate something about your life and just are really like not loving it, go and find someone else and just ask them, hey, like what is the hardest thing for you right now? And it could be like, oh, I'm out overweight, or I don't like my job, or I need to make more money, or this or that. And then just offer unsolicited help. Like I don't do that as much as I should, but from time to time when I do, I feel like $1 million. That would be my advice.
I think that's honestly great advice. And I mean, there's 2 ways of looking at hardship, like from my own experience. And it's one, you can either, like you said, mope around and just be sad. And sometimes that's okay. Like if you lose a loved one, you probably should mope around for a little bit, but don't let it hold you down. Like you can use it to, Allie and I were talking about this last night, either refine you or destroy you. And I was talking to her about like when I was sick and I had every opportunity to like give up and just be like, whatever, like this happens to me, it sucks. But it's like with that Rob Jones guy who I had on this podcast, who ran 31 marathons in 31 days with no legs.
It's crazy.
Like on prosthetics. But like just painting the picture for me that, hey, no matter what, someone always has it worse. And there's always times when you can like step in and help.
Yeah,
like,
I love that.
There's this, I'll tell a quick story and then we can wrap up. But there's this old lady that lives in Arizona. She's Allie's neighbor. One day Allie was walking with her dog and she was just like, this old lady was out in her wheelchair, just like waving and stuff. And Allie walked over with the dog and like let her pet the dog and stuff. And then they became friends. They've been friends for like 3 years, I want to say, but she's 86 years old. She's like a hoarder.
Oh.
Like her house is just it's crazy. But like, I feel so bad for her every time we go over there because like she's alone. She doesn't have anyone. Mm-hmm. She can't really move that well. And she's in like a lot of pain. Like she's actually in the hospital now because she fell down.
Oh my.
And it's like, we always go over there and we don't think we're doing something nice for her because we're just spending time with her. But like things like that go a long way.
Yeah.
And so like with what you were saying about like, just help someone else, like help someone out. If you're ever feeling down, like I love that advice. And it like, that could just look like talking to someone for a minute.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it's crazy like how much people appreciate that.
Yeah.
I had my Aunt Rosemary growing up. We would bring her taco time once a week when I was pretty little, really
Yeah.
my mom's doing. But when she passed away, she left me and each of my siblings $500. Like she didn't have much, but she didn't give really, from how I understand it, money to anyone else.
Yeah.
But she just appreciated, the joy that brought her so much. Just 30 minutes once a month that, she just wanted to make sure that, we understood that she valued that with a small, a nice gesture, especially for a little kid.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's super nice. And yeah, it shows the power. Like, you don't know what means something to someone. So just be there for them.
Yeah.
Like, the time will come when they will tell you what they need. And like the fact that you're nice to them, like, dude, you're probably one of my best friends up in Utah. If not the best friend I have in Utah.
I love you, man.
Everyone else can, just kidding. Pound sand.
If you're listening and you feel like you're one of his best friends, close your ears.
Close your ears. No, but like it's
there's room for others.
Yeah, and it's like what you and I were talking about. Like we've built our relationship. We're always down to talk to each other. And if I ever need help, I know I can call you up. Like that's what a friend does.
Likewise.
So life's hard, but it's easier together.
Yes, it is. Build an army around you.
That's right.
All the time. Let's get after it. Let's get after it.
Yeah, that's you want to close it out and just say keep getting after it.
Keep getting after it. Let's go.
Thanks everyone for listening.